Okay, time for a little admission. That was last week's intro. We're all having a little giggle over here, aren't we? Okay, so I am Stephanie B. Welcome to Starbase Expanded. This is actually episode 14, but we somehow we're missing our stream producer Matt this morning. I'm sure it's going with Matt. I hope he's okay. But anyway, so we thought we'd try that as an intro. It worked okay. Worked fine.
Worked like it worked from here.
But yeah, as a few people worked out, yeah, that was the wrong episode number at the front. And yeah, that was last week's photos, but it doesn't matter. That was funny. All right, so at least we had an intro. So I've got, yeah, you already here. There we go. Todd with us today. G'day, Todd.
Hey Seth, thanks for having me. It's gonna be a good one. I had some great pictures this week, and definitely gotta get in some rabbits hole again here. This will be fun.
And
Really bad
we
on
have,
YouTube, by the way.
sorry.
The audio on YouTube's really bad.
Let me have a look. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a little bit distorted. Yeah, I might just need to turn things down a little bit there, Indy. We
I don't
do have
think
Alex.
it's me because I barely have you at 34.
Oh no, is it me?
But I think we're clearing it up now. I think we should be okay.
Oh, hang on, let me see. Is it someone echoing? Is it? Let me just. I'm just gonna listen to echo. I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm not sure that's me. Anyway, well,
Event Dude says audio is
well,
fine.
all right, cool. We'll just play on screen. Okay, there we have. We have Alex as well. That was a bit interesting. The intro, Alex.
What? What I missed?
Oh, it was all right. It was the wrong episode number, and the pictures were from last week.
That one's just muting, so I went talk over it.
Oh, cool. And so a few other people, as you heard just before, we had Event Dudes in here. We got Kiwi, and we got Darth. There's a few people in here, Martin, and a few other kids in here as well. So let's go quickly through the sites, and then we'll go look at the ports and the other surrounding areas. Just quickly this week, there's a nice image, nice panorama that's been labelled, give a bit of an idea how things are situated here at Starbase. The US border right there, and the build site and the launch site. There's a lot of people ask about that future SpaceX docking area. This image makes it fairly clear as to where it actually is, and you can see the access road they're going to have to use once they get approvals for all that. That could take some time. And there's Rio West and all the other little sites like at Astra and Massey's and the Massey spy brakes on the Mexican side. So where's the must be just here behind this sign, is it the border patrol? Is it sitting in there, I think? Guess I can't quite see it on this map. Can you hear? Does it
Down
matter?
under the word storage and space storage lot.
Down in here.
Down, that lower. Lower. Right there.
All right. Okay. So we'll go over to Massey's first. I'm gonna try and find that little bit of Abbott space clip. I'm even going to X to find that regarding 18.3. So it's 18.3 has come out of the high bay, which was awesome to see, and it's got those um, what do you call it? Dummy grid pins, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Simulators.
Simulators, yeah. And it looks like There's two places for rams to attach in a V. I guess they're going to attach to these two. That's not a good image. I guess they're going to attach like to these two these two actuators up here. There's an image with that in it. These two in here, which will try to rotate them. And then there's one on the end, which I guess will attach to another actuator to maybe simulate some other force in and out. That'll attach to these, I guess. Now overnight we saw 30. We saw 39. 39. Yeah, go through a cryo test. So I guess it's all hooked up and ready to. It's all been hooked up. I'm not sure what actuators have been hooked up yet, but that went frosty last night. Okay, so we did speak quite in detail in show and tell and in the weekend show about everything's going on in here. Yeah, I trust what I hear. I'm still trying to process what's going on at the bottom of this tank, but it all seems very intriguing to have all this as a part of the actual container for the fluids. It's very interesting. Okay, this shows those clevises nicely here. So I guess they'll have a rocking action. So there's no actual motor or anything involved with this. So I guess they could even pull the grid pin left and right. No, that would not just rock it. Trying to work out how they could actually put forces this way on it. If these are the clevises on the simulator above the center pivot, that'd just rotate it. I guess you rotate it right over and kept pulling it'd pull that way.
Do we think they're gonna be pushing up on them to simulate like a landing and or just G forces coming down into the atmosphere like that? You got those actuators straight down from your hand. There's a red one and then the black one with the silver top right there. Do we expect any of those to be pushing up?
Yes, those are from the others. Um, the 3 attachment points on the simulators. Probably the outer one is going to be pushing and pulling. I mean, all of them should be pushing up because a downward pull would be interesting where it would generate it from.
Cool. Thank you.
This one, there's an attachment point here, isn't there, to push up on the end of the grid fin simulator?
Yeah, I mean, it's I as far as you pretty much only have to. You can do the rotation but pretty much most of the forces on that will be pointing upwards.
Yeah, so they can, so they wouldn't want any distortion like around the grid pin
Well,
sockets.
this is testing the socket. This is just sort of jamming in and making sure that the socket can handle the torque and the tank wall won't. Um, it won't. I lose my word. But yeah, no. This is testing the socket. It's not testing anything else. Just where the motor assembly mounts in.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of, because when the grid pin's on an angle, there would be some load this way as well, wouldn't there?
I mean,
As the Go on.
you're essentially plugging in, and it's how much twisting, and then there'll be some translational up, down, left, right a bit, but you'll have you'll have some shear, you'll have some moment forces, and yeah, mainly translational.
Okay, I'll pass that little bit of feedback about intro music on to the producer. Okay, yeah, cool. So I guess there's not much more to. Is there anything else you really want to say about this thing, Alex, that we haven't already talked over a couple of times?
Not until we have more stuff installed.
Yeah, yeah. And seeing the new article coming out, did that add anything to your thoughts except what you basically expected anyway? Yeah,
What article?
the 18.3 coming out of Mega Bay 1.
We can't see anything on it, the article. Everything
Do
that
you
would be underneath.
Yeah.
did you guys talk about how two of the grid fin sockets in that test article are set up slightly differently for testing?
Let me just bring that up. Gazer's got a good picture here on X. I might even download it yet.
You
I
can
might
see
just download it.
they installed the third one since this photo on the right side there, and you can see halfway along what are we calling these things, struts, the black objects.
The
Yeah.
simulators, yeah.
Okay, oh yeah, simulators. So yeah, on the other two grid fin sockets, you can see the simulators that go into them. They got crevices underneath halfway along. I'm assuming that's where they're going to pull and push them diagonally.
The three
Okay.
shiny ones are probably, the other ones were probably for during construction, removing them, is my opinion. But
There's I was looking at the ground photo earlier today, not a public one, and yeah, it shows two very distinct crevices closer to the grid fin socket.
Oh my gosh. So sorry.
Hey, Matty.
Yay!
Hey, Matt.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
yeah,
One
it's
second,
it,
I'll get us all set.
We're going, Matt.
Matt,
We're already
going.
live. So if
Oh,
you
I'm
want to
so
take over,
sorry.
you can.
Oh, I don't need to if we're already
Okay.
going.
We'll go again.
I was hanging with the kids and just totally spaced. Sorry.
Family, it's worth it. No problem, man. We got it covered.
And you're okay.
there
That's the important thing, and so is the
Yay.
family.
so
We'll
with
have to
those,
tell you later how we did the intro. It was quite interesting.
Okay, Alex, there you go.
I have nothing to say because if there's, according to Jake, there's information that we don't have to present, so that may or may change my opinion of how these are set up. So easiest way to make me not talk about something is
Yeah, maybe you could DM me that picture. I won't show it here.
well,
But
it's something that if everybody's on this not on the same page, it's hard to talk about something.
fair enough. So this one here, I think, would pull down or push up on that. There's a place for an actuator to go from there down in the can crusher. And yeah, these could pull sideways, but I'm not sure about the extra clevis. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I think I think the crevices on the ends are to push and pull straight horizontal.
Cool. And yeah, I see there. Yeah, so have they mounted a temporary kind of a thing in here for them? Because the ones for the plight, I think, are stainless, and they're hang on, weren't they horizontal in the other? Weren't they horizontal before those 2 points? Or is that my brain not working properly again?
Yeah, they've been vertical the whole time.
Ah, okay, thanks.
But obviously with the two, well, as you can see there, they're slightly angled on the two side grid fins. They're not like a perfectly vertical. those attachment points.
Oh, yeah, too. Yeah, they're just kind of there. Yeah, yeah, and that's insulation in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something in here too. Is that just a doubler, or is that some kind of?
Probably the doubler.
Okay. Yeah. And some counterweights. I haven't seen counterweights for a while.
That's the that's the cool thing with these simulators. It can actually give you an idea of how deep those grid fin sockets actually are, the pods.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing it on the ground before this, and then figuring out what they were for, and now seeing them in there. I didn't. My mind was like, that's too big. Those are going to stick out too far. But yeah, now you see them in there, and it's like, oh, that's a lot deeper than I was thinking.
I think I see your photo, Jake. Um, yeah, I'm assuming that's one of the outer ones because from the overhead, that makes when it was sitting in Sanchez, that makes sense.
Oh, when you saw the actual simulators in Sanchez.
Yeah, when they're sitting on the ground, you could see the clevis mounts that Jake was referring to.
I've got my hard drive for that. I might leave that for now. Cool.
Question: does that black ring rotate?
No.
I think it's what locks the because the whole thing is sort of like a trash can. You're just bolting it in the socket with the motor assembly, and this is the stand-in for the entire assembly. The actual mounting for the motor and stuff is what the test article or the test frame in Sanchez is testing.
Not that week. That was the dark week. Let's try this week. So what I also want to know, can we see
The
this plate on them? Whatever it is.
you can it's that big U channel in the middle of it, and on two of them, on that one you can sort of see just to the right of your hand where it starts to pooch outwards, and on the shadow on the left side of it.
Cool. So that's what they look like before they got installed. So they sort of installed this one here. They're sticking out. So they're sticking out about from here somewhere. You just
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah,
Oh, so here we can see that. I can see. They see that channel section here, which should be that channel here we're looking at. Yeah.
yeah. I think you can see the lower the little mounting point, the tiny one, right at the end of the view. Yeah, I think you could probably see that on one of these question mark. Eh, maybe not.
And I was actually looking for this too. That
Yeah.
might not be even on here. These.
Yeah, because the items that Jake's pointing out are essentially very similar size to the end clevis mounts with
Where are they?
thread
Halfway
heads.
along here somewhere.
Where the shadows were in the middle one. Yeah,
And is
right.
that the only one that has that?
That's the only one I've seen that's got it, but I mean, I'd like to think the other one right opposite it has that same thing as well.
Back there, we just can't see it.
Well, the other one looks like it might be mounted at a different angle too, unless they were just during the installation process.
So those other extra ones are here somewhere. You're saying, yeah.
Underneath,
Underneath. Okay, cool.
yeah, but yeah, Basically take the end twos that are the top two and rotate that 180 degrees.
Oh, gotcha. Under here. Okay. Yep.
Interesting.
And also then do a 90-degree so that the pivot points. No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So it's not very like this. It's flat.
Yeah.
Cool. That'll do. That's fine. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jake, and appreciate you both for working that out. Good on you. So
So we
yeah.
have a
So these. Yeah. We go for it. Yep.
couple of questions, and we also have a donation. We got a
Yep.
£2 donation from Wilbo, who says for the goal, and he's also hoping for better intro music, and that will happen for sure. The first question is from Tobias, and he's asking, is there any difference from the grid fin structure testing things for the pitch and rudder grid fins, as they will face different lateral forces?
I mean, the overall loading should be very similar.
Okay. And
Because
then
it's more of a surface area and displacement issue question. But yeah,
You got to. You got to remember at hypersonic speeds, things aren't always necessarily intuitive, are they?
you know,
And then we have a question from Brian Aries asking, do you think the mount tube for the grid fin socket go all the way through as one piece?
How deep are these tubes inside, I guess, is the question. And I'd be interested in what sort of bracing they have inside too.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for them to remove the top section of B18's forward to see what's going on inside there. It's
right?
still just sitting in the scrapyard taunting me.
Yeah,
That's yeah, exactly. Sorry, Alex.
nah, I'm just agreeing with Jake that they're not being very nice.
Yes, if they cut the top off this right at those, oh, they've got it couponed at least. Well, you might be lucky soon.
That's been coupon for a little while now, and they did actually
Yeah.
go to attach the lifter to it a few weeks ago, and then they haven't done anything with it since.
Oh, they teased you, really full on teased you then.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's so close. See, I want the top sliced in half, or they lift it off and turn it upside down. Either way would be acceptable.
Yeah. So to answer that question, Indy, we won't know till they cut this off and show us, I guess. And I don't know, maybe they don't want to, maybe they're I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they saw us showing interest. I don't know.
And then we just got a donation from Martin for £20. Thank you so much.
Cool. Okay, that's all the questions. What did Martin say? I did miss the intro. Yeah, we showed last week's intro. Anyhow, we tried to get away with what we could because I'm just glad Matt's okay. I was concerned there was something going on, but that's good to hear that he's okay. It's the main thing. All right. We're at Massey's, weren't we? Here we go. Already starting to jump around all over the place.
I'm good, just embarrassed a little.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Too. Okay. Where are we? Massey's. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. Not sure what we'll see. We might see something when they roll it past the cameras of underneath 18.3. It'd be interesting if we do. Or later on when they cut it in half like they did last time. We saw a little bit, I guess.
When they lift it in, I think would be the best seeing up and under it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we'll have to get one of the ground. Make sure we make sure we notify one of the Starship guys or Sean to make sure they're out there looking at that.
Yeah, there won't. Because technically that's a private road.
There's a few
What?
Starship Surfer. There's quite a few of them out there, eh?
There's a lot of people who are quite cautious about going down that road now.
They're lifting in here something.
I think they're just lowering a cylinder in.
Did you guys already talk about the fact that the nose cone cage has moved now?
Not yet.
Yeah, looks like it might be sitting over near the test tank 17.
Scrap it.
It moved earlier today.
Oh,
Probably,
on that pad.
probably. Yeah, I should imagine it's right on top of that now.
That means they're going to use it on that pad. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, because they've added to it, I can't see them scrapping. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they had scrapped it ages ago, but they've kept it for some reason or another. You ought to have the can crusher cap and everything on it.
I
Have we
just think
seen any nose cone test articles, or looks like a test article for nose cones yet?
Not really. No, I haven't seen anything obvious through the window star
Yeah.
factory. I mean, there's that one nose cone that's having all that TPS experimentation done on it, but I don't think there's anything different structurally about it than he's verifying.
Thanks.
Could they have
That-
moved that nose cone jail just in order to get at this piece of concrete underneath it that hasn't been touched in? It's probably the oldest piece of concrete in the place.
that is
I
a
mean,
possibility.
maybe. Also, I know I call it the nose cone cage, but it's not. They haven't always tested just nose cones in there. There was that one, I think was it 24.2 and 27.1. Those were both barrel section test articles that went in there.
Was that almost twice as tall at one point, Jake?
Yep.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah, I
been
think.
ship related though, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the other thing. They could stick something HLS related into that thing.
They did originally test the nose cone payload base section, I think. And yeah, it had, well, not quite as tall. These beams were not quite as tall, but up here, yeah. And then it had the cap on top as well, like this cap. And they scrapped all that. It sat for ages. Was it here? It sat for ages. The other cage over near where those tanks are, I think.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Oh, go my brain. Can remember some things, eh? But other things, cool.
But yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that that's after quite a long time, it's no longer sitting in that spot.
That must have happened while I was asleep. I haven't actually looked at the Discord since I woke up this morning. So that must have happened in the last sort of 6 to 8 hours, I guess.
How many letters of G were installed since you went to sleep and woke up?
Oh, just the gut. There's no eight. What is it now? Eight wa?
Yeah, so they moved it moved while you were sleeping.
All good stuff happens when I'm sleeping. Dang it. Dang Aussie time. All right, cool. Oh, that's interesting. They moved it over there. Yeah, I would not say it's like they made this pad for some reason. So I'd say that, yeah, I'd say that's getting moved over there to be actually used over there from now on. Well, that's going to clear up. That's going to make this all look nice and clean.
It's interesting though, with the way they've moved that cage over there. It's pretty much completely boxed in that test tank now, for the time being.
True, true. I mean, I could lift it at paper. So that means these three are like nicely in line now, perhaps.
Yeah,
Gee, SpaceX organization, what's going on?
So if only to get rid of those little nitrogen tanks.
Oh, here.
I think I did
And
see someone mention that one of those LOX tanks was actually seen moving yesterday or day before.
yep, I saw that. Yep.
There too is some pretty old concrete.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, that'd be some of the oldest. Yeah, that'd be under here. Like was it Alaska or PK? Who was no, it was Alaska. Said yeah, and under here's some of the oldest concrete. Sorry, you two. I get these two mixed up. Sorry. All right, cool. I know you can hear that. Kelly's computer's talking in the background. So there was something I know you said it through the shows. That might be something to delve into on the Tuesday show. Or do you feel like keep delving into this or not, Alex?
I have no idea what in relation. Just the upper one. The outer. No.
Sorry, what?
No, I was looking to see if anything here would have reminded me of what I was. And nope, no clue what that could have been in relation to.
Cool.
No, I just noticed that there's no posts next to one of those RVAC rams on the left. Nothing there at all either side of it.
They've been pulling
Oh,
it
that is
apart. Oh, yeah.
Explains why there's two turnbuckles there to try and hold it in place.
And those ones the turnbuckles are on are also, I think, related to those side actuators. See, this is where we need one's a low angle ones.
didn't get enough pixels out of it. So these no, they don't hold up the ring, do they? It's only these new things that hold up the ring now, yeah.
Right. I
That
never
seems to be in
realized
a
that.
weird spot.
Yeah, it looks like they're half. It's half together. I mean, the old version and the new version, and yeah.
Yeah,
Let's say,
it's a bit of a hybrid now.
the more I look at this stand, the more it's like comes across as a real Frankenstein stand now.
Yeah, that's why I wanted this angled shot because there's a lot of it looking down. It's like the two side posts. I did look like they're at two different heights.
Has there always been is there always been two rings in the middle there? Or was it one in the past? I can't
That
quite remember now.
it was one. A lot. Some of these are the changes that they did last time it was over in Sanchez. I think.
Hey, still there's a good chance this won't be used for like cryo testing in the near future. I mean, thrust sim testing, whatever you want to call it.
I think it'll be kept as a test stand for test articles, but personally, I can't see ships ever using it again.
Okay, let's mark that down.
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
That could be used in the future for testing 6 RVACs, I guess.
It's honestly like a week of work away from being back to doing thrust simming. So yeah.
True, but I mean, but going on what Jake's saying, an idea there is that moving forward, they may try to lighten the airframes even more, even through version 3, like even before they call it officially version 4. They may still try taking some weight out of the ship, in which case they'll need to do this testing again, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of changes and models and such, but this looks like it's well on its way to being reconfigured for something new.
Cool, more testing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's actively being disassembled. We can see a host of the cylinders they've already yanked out of it on the ground. So yeah.
Yeah, um, that's 6, not I'm not sure if those cylinders belong to this or not.
Some of the ones on the ground or one of the other RVAC. Yeah, those
'Cause
across the top.
yeah, 'cause the RVAC rams are there and the centers are there and they're all there. I'm gonna the rocker ones, it doesn't look like they're gone, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I mean, it looks different than when it, but we'll see.
Cool, and they've done nothing to the SQD, system, so it doesn't look like it's gonna be used, like, if it's, if it's ship, if it what do you call that, testing to confirm that the ship's been welded together properly before flight, pre-flight testing.
I got a I noticed thing as well on the pipework going to that test stand. I don't know how long it's been like that, but some of the pipes are disconnected on the very corner. So the two white insulated pipes, follow them down on the corner there. Look, I'm just
Oh,
curious how
that's
long they've been.
disconnected.
Yeah, how long has that been in that for?
That's locks, I think, that one. Yeah, they haven't used that one for ages. They've been using this this nitrogen line for a while. But you haven't used locks for ages. Actually didn't realize that was disconnected. This one I think's still connected. Well, it was when they were doing the tests anyway. So it's got an oh, that's on this one down here, an actuator. That's not the best image for that. Trying to look at that anyway, sorry. Oh, this one is hidden. Okay. Oh no, it's not. It's here, sorry. Yeah, that one's definitely disconnected. Not sure about now I'm looking at it. Maybe that one's disconnected too. But I mean, they did use that nitrogen line when they were doing the testing for 39.1 on here. But yeah, nothing to do with SQD being changed. So it looks like they're definitely using that new stand for the next short term for a while anyway, for the near future. Not sure what, yeah. They seem to have like not really interested in putting ships on here, but doing their structural integrity test, their pre-flight testing. There's a bit of there's sort of this is where it's starting to get confusing. I guess we should use terms like pre-flight testing rather than structural integrity testing. 'Cause there's test tanks getting structural integrity tested, and then there's flight articles being pre-flight tested, and there's like this whole thing doing other testing, and these things
I
doing other
wouldn't
testings.
I wouldn't call it pre-flight. It's just a validation test.
Validation, that'll do.
Yeah. And yay, I've been screaming about that for like years. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, it's sort of it really comes to a head when we see such development right now. There's so many different articles getting tested with all the different components of all these new the version 3 stuff for now at least anyway, plus maybe even other stuff. Not version 3, maybe and looking even further forward. Oh, someone say working late tonight and some easy listening with RGV. That's a nice thing to say. Thank you. Who was that? Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. That sounds like someone trying to say Barcelona with a list. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Correct.
I
I think
digress.
that is the case. I think that's the joke. Also, while we're here, we want to thank Brian Neres for his $9.99 donation. We want to thank Yazada for his $5 donation, and he was just confirming that the sign currently reads as Gateway. And then Tim Chance also donated $20, and he had a question. How soon do we speculate a static fire at Massey's?
Well, in my opinion, it's probably going to be sometime in the first week of April, I reckon.
Seems reasonable.
They're very hard to tell, really, to be honest. But yeah, that does seem very reasonable. Yeah.
Though the hot fire stand moving the other night is bizarre.
Yeah, it's here at Massey's. It's sitting right here at Massey's right now. Yeah. Whether it's so.
I mean, if that nitrogen's a purge line that for purging out underneath the skirt, you can see can't see where it's gonna pop out on that level yet.
Oh, so it should be up here, shouldn't it? Not down there. No, it should be down here.
It'll be down there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
again, this is where a more slide, less top-downy view is helpful.
Top-downy view. That's a good technical term. Oh, that's definitely more not top-downy. Yeah, because I had trouble tracing that line the other day because this chassis rail here, I guess we would call it chassis rail, but this piece of steel here, it, it's in exactly the same line as where that pipe comes in on some of the views. So here you can see it on a different angle. That's that line there, I think. But yeah, I don't know whether that's it there again inside as well. But because
It's
I do
close,
notice a
yeah.
lack of LOX drain though in here. Yeah.
Why? That giant pipe is the drain line right there. That's the hole. And yeah, you
There's-
can see its actuator right now where you were previously. You can see up. Yeah, you can see the flange. Just to up and to the right, I believe. I think that's one of the flanges, but I might be not seeing it right.
I was under the belief that it comes through the SQD now.
Oh, it does, but this is where it comes in and then it heads up.
Okay, yeah.
See all the flex lines? It would be one of the flex lines, the smaller flex lines.
Yeah.
Of the
Now
large ones. Yeah.
Oh, like one of these. Hang
Yeah.
on, where is it? Yeah. Yeah, what I mean is there's no like before there was where they could attach the hose to. It's not there for the locks.
No,
So
it's
that nitrogen line, yeah, might be coming through here.
but yeah, it's
So maybe the static fire stand, hot fire stands here to test that nitrogen system maybe.
probably just alignment.
Them silver looking pipes at the back of that, if you just go back a few bits. Yeah. What millimeter are they?
What are they, sorry?
Them silver pipes there, what size are they?
They are something like, I don't know, less than 12 inch.
No,
Those
the
are
other
18
side.
inch, so
The other side.
like 400.
And maybe 200s or 150s.
No.
Not sure exactly.
Event Dudes, I think, knows.
So elegant. Little bit spaghetti-y, but still. That's another technical term, spaghetti-y. Spaghetti-ish.
Spaghettification is actually a word.
That's the word I'm looking for, spaghettification. Oh, that's the
That's a brilliant.
crusher, RAM.
I was gonna say that's a brilliant word.
Yeah, spaghettification. Yeah, now sorry, yeah, that does ring a bell now you say that. Okay, that
Event Dudes.
should, there's not much more to say about Massey's, I don't think. I heard you said the other day when you did the show yourself, said, "Well, I'm bored with Massey's, unless there's some other shows, some other questions." Whoa, my computer's blacked out. Are we still okay? Am I still on?
You're still here. We
Yep,
still
we
see
still
your
see you.
screen. And Event Dudes
Well,
didn't hear the question. If you want to repeat it, Alex or Martin.
Oh, I think it was the propellant size heading to the QDs. Swore I saw him post it at one point.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm currently looking for my glasses and I can't find them.
So are there any other questions for Massey's?
Nope.
I mean, Darth might know as well, but I'm going to start
I
both
just
driving.
know the main pipes have all been like, but they vary between 12 to 18 inches. So 12 and 16, I believe, at the actual QD interface are the most common.
Spaghettification. Someone in the chat says, "Oh, black hole words." Is that a black hole word too?
Yes.
Spaghettification.
Yeah, it's strictly a black hole word.
Thanks. I had forgotten that. I just figure you could also use it as a term here. They've spaghettified. Well, that didn't work.
No. I mean, it has to do with tidal forces. Well, extreme tidal forces, but yeah.
Spaghettified. I crack myself up
Spaghetti
sometimes.
guy fornication or something, I think somebody once said.
Alrighty. So, any other questions about Massey's?
Not at the moment.
Cool. 450 was the label on the locks and CH4 BQD for OLM. Thanks, man. Dudes, 18 inches. Now, there is a picture of the SQD plate somewhere. Let's see if he puts it up in Patreon Lounge.
Or you can come back to it because Event Dudes is looking for it as well.
Yeah, cool.
Wilbo Baggins has a question. Oh, he's just wondering if other people are in chat or watching and find that they just listen and watch every now and then, because that's what he does. Not really a question.
That's fine. That's quite okay. No judgment there at all. That's however you want to listen or be involved or whatever. That's quite okay. Because quite often we have an image up, like, and then we'll be talking for ages, and the image doesn't change. Yeah, that's cool. I can understand that being a viable way to watch the show for sure. Just glad you're here joining us, and have the YouTube channel turned on your device. They're all good things that adds to our channel. So just being here in any form is quite okay by me. Nice and frosty. Okay, let's go over Sanchez then. So not much more to talk about there. Not a great deal, I suppose. We're speechless. You are speechless. We have it that way because we have control. I'm not a control freak, I promise.
Narrator. Yes,
I
she
was
is.
gonna say. That's what a control freak normally says.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was gonna say it, but I'm glad you took the bullet for me there, Indy.
Most welcome. I'll be your shield.
All right, so let me pick myself up off the floor laughing. That was funny as. Yeah, another ship stand. Yeah, it's interesting whether they're going to ship some of them over to Florida or not. It's probably a very viable idea to build them here. I can't see that they wouldn't be able to build them over there too, though. I think it's a bit of a 50-50 thing in my brain whether they're going to do them here or do them over there. There's plenty of room and talent over there to do it as well. I mean, they're not that hard to
Well,
put together. It's not like a real specialty thing.
well, for what it's worth, it was a few years ago now. They did actually construct one of the first generation booster transport stands over at the Cape. So I think they'll just anything that's needed to be used over there, they'll just construct over there.
And not to mention, one of the EISs mentions, I think, 40 barge trips of tooling from Texas to Florida. But
Oh, tooling. Would you call this tooling, would you?
yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
that would come into tooling.
Okay. Well, that's interesting too. That's got to sway things a bit that way, I guess. Do that include
Yeah.
things like the factory stands and stuff too?
yeah, that's all for tooling and fitting out the factory.
Yeah. So they're going to build new stuff for Starbase and ship all the old stuff over to Florida. You can have the old stuff. No.
And then after they decide on, I'm sure they're just going to contract out a lot of that work.
I'm only even this is like contracted to outside welders and stuff. Although, yeah, cyber. Just wondered having Cybertruck, does that mean it's actual SpaceX workers working here? I wonder.
Yes,
I
how
guess.
far along, at what point is this just, parts that they're assembling here and the fabricators? Where does their handoff happen?
Yeah, okay. So contractors making the parts and SpaceX people putting the parts together, sort of.
Yeah.
And that's like for a lot of things around here. Actually, there's so many things come in parts from outside contractors. Yeah, like even the whole OLM thing. I mean, but that's probably a contract welder too. Yeah, the OLM actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's shots have snuck out from different fabricators of various big ticket items over the years.
So I mentioned before, we see actually some little bit of movement in the OLM construction area. So that's definitely something that's going to happen soonish rather than laterish, perhaps. Definitely, maybe it's going to happen soon, perhaps. People used to pick me all the time by saying maybe for sure it's going to happen. Like I use both terms sometimes in the same sentence.
Nothing wrong with a bit of quirkiness.
I've got a second frame here. This thing's got it's got an adapter for the actual grid fin, so that's pretty sure what that's going to be. That'll be interesting to see. So as we saw at the Massies, that's more about testing the socket and the booster, how what the mounts for the grid fin is, and this one's more for actually testing the grid fin actuator and its bearings and that side of the grid fin.
Yeah. And there's going to be a third one of those weird trusses. So cool.
At least one more, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, still no idea. That doesn't. I can't see a jigsaw puzzle anywhere that those pieces fit at the moment. Oh, they're actually
As I, s-
working on some of the actuators. Sorry, Jake.
I was going to say, as I said about those pieces before, that's going to be the massive truss structure for the 12-meter diameter Starship.
Ah,
The breakover for it's a 12-meter. So they're going to ship
Oh
the
yeah,
12-meter
yeah.
horizontal to Massey's.
That's even better.
Ah,
Yeah, they don't really pop out anything in particular, except they're very, very strong. Like strong enough to sit something really heavy on. Such conspiracy theories stuff.
had
Oh, there
B
they are.
dance floor of the mystery.
Ah.
Oh, don't please don't quote me on that.
No, it's all you're running with that now.
Done.
I thought maybe to sit an OLM on, but there's no real need for that.
How about a version 1/2 vehicle?
Mm. You mean
It's a
for a
tractor.
rocket garden?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Ah, a rocket garden stand. Yeah, that makes some sense stuff. Yep.
You can walk under a vehicle.
Yes.
like I could see them setting the ring on top of it.
I'm still holding out hope we get a horizontal display, but I have a funny feeling I'm going to be left disappointed.
Sort of like having 4 trusses, like one there and one there and one there. Although they look like they're going to be joined somehow, don't they? There's a funny side on them. Like they got this funny end on, different on each end. It's like there's more to it still.
I think it's just the welding tent that's covering. I think they're symmetrical. Yeah.
Maybe. And these ones here end square too, don't they? They're not cut like on the angle, are they? They're actually square ends.
Yeah, it looks like flanges at the bottom.
So it could have another plate on this one too. Oh, and a sticky uppy bit on the end here, like a
Yeah,
plate.
Is that a technical steel
Yeah,
toe?
it's a hairstyle term, sticky uppy bits. When when you wake up in the morning, you got sticky uppy bits.
Oh boy.
rooster head.
It was on a shampoo ad in Australia here, or a hair product anyway. I'm not sure it was shampoo or not, but yeah, when you have sticky uppy bits. Anyhow,
Flyways?
I'm gonna use
No,
it anyway.
flyaways are different. And while we're at it, although Turtle Sanctuary does apologize for being a bit late, we're happy he's here, and he donated $10 and also gifted 5 subscriptions, 5 memberships. So congratulations to all the recipients, and thank you as always, Turtle Sanctuary.
They lay stuff is out. They lay stuff out at Sanchez just for RGB to figure out, and then they laugh and laugh and laugh.
Guaranteed.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we're putting a smile on someone's face. That's good to hear. That's a good achievement. What are these plates? There's more of them just over yonder. Yeah, there's 4 more of them there. So there's more than 20. It's like 24 now. I think there was 20 here. Yeah, there's like
See, I
20 there.
originally thought there was something used to hold ring
Oh.
sections together properly, which they were being welded together, but I'm starting to think they're actually part of stands now.
Are the weird stands that were sitting up there for a few weeks? Those looks like parts of them. Maybe not. Like
These
you could,
ones.
No, they're a
yeah,
bit
no,
different.
yeah. I could put one of those together and make a ring.
Yeah, it'd be like a
Actually,
12-meter. It'd be like a 12-meter ring, though, wouldn't it?
Um, you know,
Except for this, maybe. Yeah, they got a real particular shape to them too. They look
Well,
like a
because
weird kind of spanner.
yeah, I mean, yeah, those are fairly shallow curve.
Actually, I'd be interested to see someone take a model of that and actually put 24 of them together and see if they do make a circle. Anyhow, we'll soon find out. It's one of those things we'll find out sooner or later. Like this thing, we eventually work it out. That's a fun journey in the meanwhile, though, for sure. Hey, cladding. I see with Sean's images, there's quite a bit of cladding going on now. I probably should try and work that out. I might look at that in a minute.
Yeah, I have to laugh. It was when we saw the first aardvark going into Megabay 2 the other day. Not long after it went in, there was a piece of cladding that came right in front of the camera that stayed there for a while. And then when the cladding was finally moved, the engine had disappeared.
Vix is amazing. She documents so much stuff. Yeah, we saw an RVAC go in. There it is. Oh no, that's a simulator came out. There was an RVAC. Yeah, well, we're going to the build site now. So they end up putting the third, the third simulator in there. There she is. Oh, sorry, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the RVACs. A quick look here. There's the gut. That's the last thing I saw. The gut.
The wonky G, you mean?
I
I
think,
think
yeah,
they've
that's an
straightened it
RVAC
out
going
now.
in there.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's it, Stephanie.
Yeah. So that means that does that mean 39's getting engines before it's had any um, thrust puck testing like on it?
I'd say so.
Sta-
Yeah.
Static fire will test the puck, right?
Indeed.
That's for sure. I just wouldn't think they would have done that, but this is so showing the cladding because we're on cladding. Actually, I came in to look for cladding too, but yeah, I wouldn't think they would do that. But anyway, they are. Oh, that's what. That's the sign. I had that in Sanchez last week. They've got it actually on the front of the building now.
That's the transport trailer, isn't it?
Oh, it's on the trailer. Oh, it is too. So yeah.
Yeah, both trailers have them.
Ah, gotcha. Yep, it is too. Yeah. That's not a sign. So I guess very soon. I mean, telehandler might be able to put the next row in. Obviously, they'll start doing the crane now. Um, there's a crane being assembled. I didn't realize there's a new crane being assembled in these photos somewhere.
Red.
It's not the one behind Megabay 1, is it? I wondered if that was new because I didn't recognize that when I looking through the photos.
Looks just like one we saw at McGregor.
And maybe to assemble the crane for the cladding. Yeah, what did you write? BJ. I learn a lot when I read BJ's scripts because some things I miss in show and tell. He always picks up stuff that I miss.
Yeah, that looks like a 1220 that they
Yeah,
usually
Yeah,
use
1220.
to assemble other bigger cranes.
which is funny because we saw a red 1220 that did the repairs on the vertical Raptor stand.
The one that drove down in the trench.
Yep.
I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with this gigabay here at Starbase because we saw that filing recently for what was it, MLC 650 crane. It's due to be used on the Roberts Road gigabay, and it's supposed to be used to disassemble the tower cranes and I think finish off the top of the bay. And it was what, something like 600 foot or slightly above that is how tall it's due to be. And I'm curious, can they actually go about doing that using a crane like that at this site? And if so, where do they assemble that?
Out front.
Over here.
Yeah, that any of those the
Yeah.
corners. I don't know. Put the 11K on SPMTs and let's drive it over here.
Yeah, I think
So
out front, in front of Giggity Bay, along the front of Star Factory, where they're currently not using the entrance except for bringing the skills.
And it's not like there's room, hint, to temporary move Highway 4, hint.
Traffic diversion? Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just use remedios.
Yeah, it's not a public road anymore, so why not?
at the front here.
Look, there's a whole fresh concrete they put in that if they needed to more space in front of, they could just cone off and move the traffic.
Oh, so it's going to be real tall, isn't it? It's probably not going to fit in here. But it'll fit in here.
I mean,
But
realistically, if they'd built it, they'd probably just move in the dirt in front of the factory and set it up there.
That's
I've
what I'm
just
saying.
if you look in the Studio VC comment, Stephanie, that's the full details of it, of that crane I was talking about just now.
actually, would it fit? Like, would it fit? This crane's got to be able to go beside it. So it might not fit here and be able to have the crane roll up beside it. Like, it'd fit in here, but that'd disrupt things. It would fit here. But like you said, they could divert traffic around here.
When they finally need to start building building that crane, most of this will be done and it won't disrupt most. Plus, the rest of the stuff can go around the back. I think that's why they're getting this cladding on now.
So it's an LT. It is an LT 1220. It's been delivered, possibly to assist in assembly of the expected LR 1300 for installing the cladding.
An LR 1300 or 13,000?
100.
Same one that did the Mega Bunker. Same model.
Isn't that what that old blue one was? The blue and white.
That was
one?
that was the 1600.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was bigger,
Yeah.
and they drove that down Highway 4 when Eileen did its thing.
That crane I watched move more times than anything.
Bit of a close up of the cladding. Is it worrying that they're different coloured greys, or is that just like a bit of dust or something, a bit of weathering, or
Could be
That's
light
very
hitting
fit.
it.
I was going to say that's very fitting for Starbase.
There's several places where you can see difference in colors on the stuff they put up so far.
yeah, I noticed that in a lot of photos already, like here and here.
It's probably the way they're stacked in the pallets. Some of them have more dust.
I'm hoping it's that and not just different batches of paint that got used on the pieces of metal.
Yeah, different levels of oxidation.
So it'll balance out in the end of the day. It'll all come out in the wash.
Well, it needs a wash would show. It would help.
That's if they position the panels just right, they can make some nicer artwork out of it.
They've got those
Excellent.
guys that paint the concrete black all the time. They could just come over here and start painting again.
Okay, we'll just quickly finish on Sanchez here. So I'm jumping all over the place a little bit. We were on cladding there a second ago, so we'll just finish on Sanchez here just quickly on this breakover in air quotes system. I think I've had any extra thoughts or um, ideas since we saw it last, except they're putting one of the looks like turntables together, and they don't seem to have done much on this thing for the last couple of weeks now. This thing's getting closer. The finish looks like it's ready to actually start having all its equipment put on it, its actual hydraulics and what have you. Not really much more. Oh, and the feet, I think Jake nailed it on the head. The feet are at Massey's at the moment, so they'll probably they'll probably bolt the
Hey,
feet down and then drop this on the
oh
feet
yeah,
and then weld them to the feet.
yeah. I think that's probably the best way of making everything sure everything's properly aligned.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I don't think they did it like that for the other stand, but I could see it being done like that for the second stand.
Are we sure it's the static fire stand that went to Massey's and not this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't have any of these sticky uppy bits in the ground photos at all. None of these sticky none of these you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, that caught people off guard a bit the other day because there was the new road delay came out, production to Massey's. And I think most people are thinking it was probably going to be for the new V18.3 test tank, and then just out of nowhere, the static fire test tank was seen just rolling up Highway 4 to Massey's.
Yeah, and I assumed it was the other one going to get its legs, is why it was going out there. But
That was this one, and yeah, maybe yeah, like Alex said, to start testing this whole nitrogen system, whatever the heck's going on here with it. And the rings had disappeared for the airbags. I'm not sure whether they're going back to Massey's or so it still hadn't had the rings for or at least the brackets for the rings. So the rings maybe the rings are actually in Mega Bay 2 and they're putting them straight on the airbags now as they're installing them.
I think they were sitting outside of Mega Bay 1 last time we saw them.
They were here last time I remember seeing them, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, next to Mega Bay 2.
1, 2, whatever it takes.
2, yeah, sorry, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they installed them first.
It could have rolled out with them.
It would be slightly different order of operations, but yeah, it's definitely possible, I think.
Yeah, as we've been saying, they're changing things up with the new versions.
So I'm hearing 39's just a Pathfinder. Got it.
'24 was technically a Pathfinder, just saying.
7 was.
Oh, yes, it was.
is there any possibility that the road to Massey's, the bridge to the island itself, needs to be wider, and that's what those big trusses are for? I can't see anything. That's going to hold an awful lot of weight.
I mean, technically, they probably could fill that bridge in and make it a causeway versus a bridge. Maybe put a small culvert through it to let some water flow.
There's
It
already
looks like they opened up the westerly side to the river. Actually,
I would think if it was something like if it was a bridge, that it's not going to be SpaceX working on it. It's going to be a contractor doing it. I mean, and they're probably going to have their own area. And if it's movable, they'll bring it in or one of the other sites. I just don't think they would be doing it there. But who knows?
that makes sense. I'm just trying to figure something that would need that much capability to carry that much weight. That truss is awfully big and heavy.
I mean,
B
it's
Yeah, I agree.
B12. Just say it.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
I've just going back to a reactive frame for a test structure because if you look at how ibuprofen was put together, it's the only other thing with a similar level of bulk.
Yeah, it just doesn't have any roundness to it. It's square. I mean, maybe if they want to put it on top of a booster and then they can put one of those uh, barges that they carry things back over to KSC on top of the booster and strap something down on it and launch it that way. But it's there's a lot of meat to those trusses.
So, Tropical Fish has a question, and they're wondering, will Gigabay have similar outside bracing like on the Megabays, or do we not know? Also,
It's all
why did SpaceX need the outside bracing?
it's internal on Gigabay, and external it's give I think they just wanted the flat surface on the interior. It's a very
Yeah,
lightweight construction they did. Go PK.
Yeah, on the mega bays, it was used for wind loading and to create shear walls on the outside. You know, to make so you had the flat wall for construction, and they were so small that that having the structure, the wind bracing on the outside just made more sense. Because they free spanned the whole interior of those buildings, free span. There was no internal anything to keep the building square except bracing on the outside.
Okay, just answering some Star Trek questions there. Oops, I kind of got the void. I got the Star Trek movies a bit backwards. Okay,
I
cool.
believe that's a recurring theme stuff.
Like so long ago, I watched them in the cinema. I remember watching the original Star Trek in the cinema. That was kind of cool day down in Melbourne. See, I thought that was the whales and the Voyager and the transparent aluminium and all that was in all in the same episode. Apparently, it was over two different movies. It was in the Voyager was in the original motion movie, motion picture. Been corrected too. Sanchez.
You mean V'ger?
Beeger,
Vija, yeah,
1979.
yeah.
Also completely random, but 10 inches. I can't find the actual image public anywhere, so we might have to dig it up somewhere, but it's 10 inches.
Well, that's fine. That's not it's not that important. Thank you, but I appreciate the numbers anyway. Thanks, Ventus. Thanks for having a go. Thanks. Vija, yeah, Voyager 6. Yeah, wasn't it? I was waiting for the whales to reply. So I had to go back in time to the whales and bring them into the future.
Beeger was looking to meet its creator.
All right, building site. Excuse me, you're not part of the show. That'd be Cash, Johnny Cash, the dog.
I was going to say, just to clarify, she's not talking to us.
You sure
I'm
about
talking
that?
to this. I'm talking to this crazy dog.
We do have a question from the Real Levi's Brigade. They're wondering is more of a speculation question. Do y'all think Starship will get get a nuclear propulsion engine for Mars travel, like it was discussed in the NASA press release today in the future?
If I think that would just be a totally different vehicle. That wouldn't be Starship at all.
Yeah, what Jake said. And that's still a ways away. And joy was heat management if you go once you go nuclear.
I actually had that question. I thought that too. Actually, this when I read about that nuclear propulsion, I was wondering would they would ever actually put one on a starship in the future. I wouldn't say in the near term, but maybe in the long term. I'm not sure.
Hey, pretty sure most of that will be space assembled.
It's a
Bill,
bit tricky getting nuclear up because it's a bit dangerous. Should you have any kind of anomaly on the way up? Yeah.
Um, no,
Done it before.
that's
the
That
mount.
was what they worried about when Cassini went up back in the 90s, but I haven't heard anybody complaining since then.
They complain, but there's plenty of exciting transuraniums in the atmosphere from all the above ground bomb tests.
Yeah. And I mean, launches are like super reliable these days too.
I mean, I haven't looked what they're trying. I assume it'd probably be similar to pebble bed with your ceramics. The fuel would. I don't know if they're planning on if they'd be sending a sealed reactor or if they'd send the fuel up separate. But I mean, for Shield, there's a lot of, and they're just doing test engines. They're nowhere near production, like non R&D level at this current moment. So yeah, it's a ways away.
Sure. Oh, I said I could send the sensitive material up in something that's like explosive proof, couldn't they? And that would handle an anomaly anyway.
Right, because I mean, like the plutoniums that they use for the probes, the thermal, I forget what process it is, but there's no moving parts. You can drop it and it's all self-contained and armored up for the most part.
Yeah, I was going to say the RTGs that they have on Perseverance and Curiosity.
Very interesting question, that whole nuclear thing and how they're going to accomplish it safely. Sure. I think it'll happen in time.
It'll happen. There's no, it's an engineering problem. I mean, managing heat, reactor heat is the fun problem. Since you're essentially just using the reactor's heat instead of a chemical reaction to speed up hydrogen that you're spitting out the back.
I was going to say, is it basically like a electrical system to create an iron engine, or are they actually using, like I saw somewhere where they actually let off, small explosions out the back of because of nuclear explosions, or is there some kind of, like you said, some kind of system where they're using the heat to expand things? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Project Orion, but with the thumper plate. But yeah, I don't think they're planning on using that method. I think they're just using a thermal engine, so they're just using it as your heat source.
Yep.
Most of them they're using hydrogen as the cooling slash reactive mass that they're accelerating and spitting out the back. I mean, yeah, except you need to accelerate it, so you're heating it up, um, and then you're converting the thermal energy to kinetic energy. But
Well, you
And
got
that's,
that picture up.
yep.
The base of the siding is different on this side of the building, and
Down here?
yeah,
Oh, that goes around the front. That's the white layer to make the white stripe at the bottom of the wall.
is that maybe it's just the angle makes it look different.
Yeah, it makes
Oh
it
yeah,
look like,
yeah. No,
well, it looks like there are more cross pieces on the one
yeah,
side than there are on the front.
there's more
There's
pearl.
more pearl. The one place I did notice where it did look different was on the corner next to Star Factory. It looks like
Oh, there is.
it overlapped.
There's about twice as many pieces in there as there is on the front.
Yes.
And it stops as it goes back down to the left there, just a couple more panels over, and it's wider to your left, Steph. Yeah, that looks like it's a lot wider.
Oh, these panels, yeah, that's what the front looks like, yeah, that. And then the sides, yeah, that, yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there. They've got a couple extra pieces in here. Yes, it is different. You weren't crazy after all, Phil.
They need a stronger wall there because they're going to be firing the engines inside there, and they want the wall to be able to take it.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe they just haven't put the other purlins on down here yet. Let me see, there's even a spot for them. Doesn't seem to be a spot for them. I don't know why that is, actually. And then, yeah, why down here there's panels that have both different styles along this wall. That's interesting. I was expecting an architect to be able to say, I know why that is. But no, it looks kind of random, doesn't it?
Well,
different sheeting pattern. That's all.
it's not random. It's all the narrow where the beams are close together is where they have the less. Where they're wider apart, they have all the extra ones.
Yep, those are all narrow sections.
Brian Nares was suggesting that it might be a more of a wind load on that side.
No, the wind loads would be handled by the major steel, not the fascia panels.
Yeah, I think it's what Alaska is saying for the span.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because those spans are like sort of 1.5 times over this side. Yeah, these spans are a bit wider. Yeah. Although, are they? Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Though it could be the wording on the fascia panel itself, not the building.
All right, cool. So,
Yeah.
Gigabyte, yeah. Coming up to layer level 4. There's not much sort of to explain there. Oh, the concreting. The concreting was, they've been doing it 2 floors at a time, but they seem to be only doing a single floor this time. Oh, 2, that's right. I keep getting confused with the levels because you talk level 2 and 3 and that because you're using American floors.
It is in America.
Yeah, I know. My brain doesn't switch over to American all the time. So they've completed those 2 floors and they're starting on this floor. Where they did those 2 floors mostly together, according to BJ, this one seems to be doing sort of single floor at a time from now on. And we're still at the cutouts for the services. Cool. And still these ones, and how do it work now? I've got to get this right. The different levels on these bays. Oh, these are full height, these bays, and all these bays are finished at this height. We got 4, 5, and 6. So they're actually quite a lot shorter than the main walls. So are these bays high enough now for a full booster? Would the full booster be taller than this wall?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking yes too, Let me see. Yeah, because they're like almost as tall as this building, so yeah. So they wouldn't be able to have Oh, I see. They don't need this little bridge crane. They'll just have the main big bridge crane span this whole thing. I think BJ actually said that in one of his talks. Whereas over here, they'll have the smaller bridge crane on the actual stacking cells.
That's also, I mean, what they're doing, using each area for.
Yeah, just stacking over here and everything else over here. But I can just use they need the big cranes over here. Cool. Yep. Yeah, so the boosters will stick out. So that'll be a really interesting like photo sort of from in here somewhere to see the boosters sticking their heads out over the top of these walls here. Can't wait to see some internal photos of this thing. It's gonna look amazing. What tastes like chicken? What? KFC tastes like rabbit. What?
No, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It has to do with the donations. So first, we want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for his $10 donation, and he says, "Con!" And then we want to thank Wilbo Baggins for his £2 donation, who says, "Bless the turtle." And then Andy Adler for his £2 donation, and he says, "Eat the turtle." And that's where the conversation came in. As tastes like chicken? No, tastes like rabbit. Talking about turtles.
There's a
And we
funny
thank
story
everybody.
about turtles. The giant turtle from wherever it was, they didn't have an official scientific Latin name for ages because none of the specimens made it back to England because they got eaten on the way home because they were used as a food source on ships a lot in those days, and they held water too. They have a lot of water inside them as well, so they were a good source of food and water. And yeah, it took them ages before they actually got one back to England to actually give it a scientific name. There's a funny episode on QI about that. It's really, really funny. Geez, those guys are funny. Anyhow, turtle info, totally random, as event dudes would say.
And then Turtle Sanctuary just donated another $2, and he challenges Andy to eat the shell.
Oh, very clever. Good on yous.
Hey, that simulator around in front of Megaway one there. I think you might actually see one of those clouds I was talking about earlier, about halfway along.
Let's see. There's a closer photo for you there, Jake.
I think that was the one they installed earlier today.
That'd be correct. Yeah, because it's it's the other two are inside getting fitted. Yep, that's correct. I can't quite make it out. Yeah. That episode of QI was one back when Stephen Fry was still doing it. He's a funny man, Stephen Fry.
I used to love watching QI.
Yeah, yeah. He narrated all the Harry Potter books for the audio books, and he did a good job. When I read anything like that, I can only hear Stephen's voice. No,
Yeah,
I can't actually quite make it out.
actually they'd be underneath that. I just realised that's the wrong way around to see the crevices. Because the two on the end they point straight up. They're on the top side of the simulator. So we're not seeing the right side of that simulator to see what I'm talking about.
Oh, what's that you shared, Jake? In where is that? In Studio VC.
Oh yeah, that's the crane they're going to use for the Roberts Road Gigabay to finish it off and disassemble the tower cranes. And then this we might see something like that for the Starbase Gigabay as well.
Oh, that's the crane there. Is it MLC 650?
Yeah.
Well, it appears they're using a 1500 for here.
Another crawler.
Alex. Yeah, it started. That was, yeah, sorry. Anyhow, we probably shouldn't have run an intro or whatever. It is what it is. It happened. It was a split-second decision. Maybe not the best I've ever had.
I think it was just because we hit it through Discord. Discord suppresses the sound and condenses it. So that's why we had issues. But anyways, neither here nor there. We know better for next.
Ah, I see. Yep. Cool. No worries.
We also want to thank, since we're looking around, Naughty for his 10A donation, and he says, "Shall we get the donations rolling?" And sure enough, we did, and he was our 10th out of 10 donations. And then Andy Adler came in with the 11th donation, and he donated £2 and says, "Do not mock the turtle." We're having fun in chat.
That's good. That's good to see. I'm kind of catching a little bit here and there. Bit hard to see 3 screens plus my phone over there. But cool. That's awesome. That's really good news. Having fun in chat. That's really nice. This community, I think, we've been around each other quite some time now. It's really nice that you're all able to have fun and chat with each other there in chat. And yeah, very familiar faces over the years now of me doing shows and even before doing shows, just being involved with the chats as well. Yeah, that's he's all been around for quite some time now, so it's nice to see he's getting along and sharing the fun and the adventure as we go along. Like I always say, I always feel very privileged being the one here, being the one that's able to actually do the voice and the talking and the showing. It's quite a special treat to be able to do this. We're going to get to the launch, so we're going to get to the ports too very soon because there's really good port pictures this week. So quickly on this apartment building, it's just much the same as what we expected, and the thing at the front, well, they've got some boxing up, or what do you call it, formwork in America, or formwork. I guess mostly we call it formwork in Australia too, but sometimes I call it boxing. So that's pretty well the build side, I think. I think we can pretty well finish with the build site. And really nice panoramic this week to zoom over to the launch site with. Let's just do that and go over to the launch site here and see what we can see quickly. Voila. I saw a ground photo through here earlier, and this little tiny vaporizer was in the picture. I couldn't work out where it belonged, but it was actually just on this trailer, which I think's argon. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. The shielding gas.
Yeah, all this work going on in here, getting ready to hook up the new methane tanks. It's going to be awesome. Geez, they're quite quick, really, with all this, to be honest.
Oh, they can't do
Yeah,
anything until it's hooked up.
it does seem more and more like they possibly want to get those in place for Flight 12, maybe.
Currently, the methane farm is offline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it won't be for long. I've only got to put these couple of pipes in, yeah, and hook this up.
Condenser for the new reclamation for these tanks.
Could they not use the one for these tanks? Is that no?
The fact they built a new one that's underneath them.
Oh, of course, I have to. Sorry, yeah, sorry, thanks. Yeah, I forgot about that. Down here, yeah.
But that'll be hooked up in no time.
Yeah. Is that tank all the way along? Is that like 4 tanks? That seems quite long.
I think there's 4. I mean, I think there's 1.
Because the one we saw at Sanchez, was it that long? Sorry, I didn't know that.
No, it was sections in Sanchez, but it does seem like they might all be joined together now.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's like their top manifold they made for the outlets. That came as one welded up as one section.
Yeah. So are these skids? Are they the tank skids, or are they?
Those are for 3 additional tanks.
Yeah, these skids down here.
Yeah.
They're not to do with the reclamation systems. What the question
Now
is?
that one is where on the right there's a person working. Yeah,
Ah,
that under there's a skid.
oh,
You
right.
can see
Sorry,
it
on
on
that photo.
Sons
Yeah.
of Ground photos. Yeah, underneath where yeah.
So I was sort of expecting to see a skid like this in this spot here to
That
come.
one is that one that you just pointed at is just like the ones in front of these 4 tanks. These
Ah, gotcha. Yep.
the skid that they're using for these reclamation is underneath. Um, I think the leftmost tank.
Under there somewhere.
The other side of that, yeah.
Oh,
The
over there.
yeah,
Ah, gotcha. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, yep.
yeah. The
Of
liquid
course,
nitrogen
that's
that
the.
is running
Sorry.
across the front, and it comes from right to left. Everything. No, nothing for the reclamations. The only thing for this to attach to the tank is it flows into one of the skids, into the skid, one of the ports, but none of the reclamation stuff touches the tanks directly.
Yep, yep. God, it's only just today that I realised that's what's going on here with these. Don't have the skids in the front. Jeez. Some days, I tell you, the things are right under your eyes and you don't even notice. I tell you. That's as obvious as day, though. Thank you. Sorry for missing that completely. Some days, I tell you.
We haven't had any testing
Um,
since these trucks came in, correct? Or since these photos were taken?
No, as far as I can tell, they pretty soon after they decided to move it is when they started to crack. As soon as they cracked open the main methane line, propellant line, this has been kind of down.
is there any signs that they're moving the fill point, the drop-off point?
Yes, but I don't think we could see it from this picture.
Needs to be around the other side, yeah. Oh, so this could be a new methane drop-off here, yeah.
More than likely, yeah. The pipes they've been adding. If you zoom into the top level of the pipeway,
Oh, the bits are missing from here, yeah.
They
those are
always
just
remove them.
hoses. They shove them through the wall when they're not in use.
Ah, okay,
I guess having the methane offload down that end now might mean they won't have to come right around the front of the tank farm now after
Um,
unloading.
I mean, 601, I guess.
so this could be sort of the shape here.
I think that culvert there is for the coming from the SU. I don't know why they would run the offload stations into a trench, but I mean they could.
And then what, straight up onto the rack?
I mean the fill line already runs to that corner.
It does, yep, for sure,
Yeah,
yep, for these tanks, yep.
I mean it. Yeah,
Oh, so that's simply just plugging into this end of that fill line, yeah, of the methane, yeah.
more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Are
Nice.
they, are they no longer required to have a big wall around the methane for leakage? Because they don't seem to be doing that with this new stuff.
They just need a walls that'll contain the expected amount of flow for like 30 minutes.
See, I don't
That's all
see
that tells.
anything on this side of those two tanks that we're looking at right now and to do that. And I don't see
It's
anything built around the 4 tanks that they put in yet.
I mean, there was never one at Massey's either. A lot of that was potentially folklore, but I mean, they had the little one around the other tanks, but since Massey's, they haven't had any containment around their methane farm. If you go back to Massey's,
Yeah,
they
all
had
those
like
rumors
leads,
cropped
which
up after the big vertical tanks and that they didn't have any way of containing it. And that's why they had to do it. That's where all the folklore started.
yeah, I mean, show me ever on any of Massey's where they had containment.
they did have a round, little tiny like wall around this at some stage, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a curb. I mean, and it's essentially it has to do with how much if a major pipe if a pipe fails where they can't cut it, how much flow rate they'd expect to come out.
Yeah.
And
Which
more
would
than
have to be
likely,
one of these pipes right next to the tank, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Because they're all cut in here. They're all got valves in here. Yeah.
Oh, there's valves right where they exit the tank as well. Most of those have manual turn-offs.
Oh,
Or they'll
manuals. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's shut-offs all over the place on these farms.
Yeah. So we may or may not see him return. What you sort of saying?
What?
The little walls.
I mean they'll probably have some, but I mean there are a lot of issues with that farm.
Big truck. Lucky dual axle trailer. Every trailer in Australia is truck trailers in Australia. Except for hay, when you cart hay or something. Every single truck in Australia has triaxle trailers.
Because
Okay.
gravity pushes everything down.
Yeah, the gravity's upside down here. That's right. You know. Now they've disconnected the crane, I believe, haven't they?
It was disconnected shortly after this picture.
Let's take a quick phone call. Hang on.
Let's say it didn't take very long at all for them to start going straight into welding that thing to the top of the tower.
And while we wait for Steph, we also want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for his $10 donation again. He says to Wilbo Baggins that he's not turtle enough to be in Wilbo's Turtle Club. But Wilbo disagrees. And
I
thank you
don't
for the
want to know.
donation. Probably best.
I noticed as well the covers they put over the base of the QD arm. It wasn't actually anything to do with welding at the top of the tower. It seemed to be welding something at the base of the arm, but I don't know. Any you guys seen exactly what they're doing there yet, or no?
The amount of blankets around the SQD, it's crazy. I have no idea what they're welding.
I've seen some footage where there's been sparks coming from that area, but I haven't been able to figure out yet exactly what they're doing there.
I mean, it almost looks like they're doing another round of just straight reinforcement welds everywhere.
And the fact that they've it looks like they had the scaff pretty much all the way up in that area. They've been doing a lot of work back there.
A lot of doublers and stuff are getting added. But that's just an assumption.
Plus, pretty sure the electrical is and all the data runs are finally all getting put in now.
I can't see anything in Sean's images to tell about that. Yeah, the all electrical he's saying. Sorry, Lawrence, what'd you say?
I was just saying that from the looks of it, the electricians and all the data lines are going in full force now.
Cool. Okay, she's got a lot to say today. Awesome. Yep. So there's something. Yeah, obviously they're doing that last. They've got all everything else in. Got to finish wiring it up and data cables and stuff. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I suppose as we talked, unless there's any real questions about launch, so we kind of covered most things. There's not a lot to talk about this week, unless there's something anyone in particular wants to talk about or ask.
There's no questions in chat currently.
Did you work anything else about the water deluge now they got rid of those trailers, Alex?
No, I mean that just looks like it's the end of the water line from Brownsville. It too looks like it has.
You mean coming in from this pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one's still from the pond, obviously.
Or yeah, I mean it's the. I'm not sure how those two are tied together.
Okay, yeah. That's still a speculation a bit, yeah. Very good. Quickly over to ASU then. What's this chat doing? I lost chat for a second there. Oh, he's still talking about everything except Starbase in chat. I see. Cool.
We're going in and out. We were talking about the tower a little bit. How clean it looks.
It is. It looks really pretty. Yeah, the new tower. Yeah, it does look really nice. Pretty. Probably not the right word. Yeah, clean. Yeah, I like that word. Yes.
It's the compressors are the air compressors. It looks like it looks more like oilers that they're putting next to the drive motors.
You say boilers?
Oilers. I think
Oh, oilers.
I think it's for lubricating and probably cooling the compressor assembly. Because yeah, some of the lines look like they're leading directly to it.
Oh, I see, like in there, for instance.
But yeah, you can't have all these spinning compressors without.
So much like a turbocharger, there's an oil line going to and from the engine, and in a car, like it's just uses the oil system. Whereas here, they've got to have a dedicated oil system up to the
Yeah,
side to run the. And would they be using oil bearings too? Like, are they spinning that fast?
possibly. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
So rather than using like a sealed grease bearing, they're using actually full on oil system.
Yeah, yeah.
They'd have to spin fairly fast, you'd imagine, wouldn't they, to be effective centrifugal compressors? Like the
But not like
turbos do.
turbocharged speed, I don't think. But yeah, again, I not sure what speed they're spinning these at.
And we've got, so where's the time here? Oh, we're 2 hours in. Cool. Oh, we've done well. That's 2 hours of just knocking around, talking about things we don't talk about normally, so that's good. Let's have a look around the ports and see if we get any other questions. Estimated completion time on the ASU?
End of summer?
Of 2026?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is, do they have power or not?
Oh, power to run it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to be taking a bit of time, but now they've only really got to plug all the things together now, really, don't they?
Isn't that the story of pretty much all construction?
Yeah.
There's there's a huge wave, and then looks like they're sitting around doing next to nothing for months on end.
All the fiddly stuff has to come next. Yeah, exactly. It is exactly like all construction. Yeah. The bulk gets put in, and then yeah, there's lots of little things to do. But yeah, in a general scheme of things, that shouldn't take too long. You
Well,
did
then,
ask the
dudes.
other day about this photo.
Oh yeah, just these for the scale of the type of or cooling towers they usually use.
Oh, so that's you're saying that relates kind of to the size of this whole area. I'm thinking was for a control. This area here that I was thinking for a control is actually about the size of the cooling fans.
Yeah, I mean, how much of this is gonna be just the cooling towers? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Well, I kind of had it in my imagination. This was going to be a solid block from one side, from one end to the other, and cooling towers, but I don't think it's going to be quite right. So this unit's like 4 times. Was it the size of the Brownsville one?
It's probably a safe-ish bet.
So does that sort of roughly equate to 4 times the cooling towers?
Probably.
I mean, it's never exactly all right. That's a science question, but yeah, just as a rough guesstimate. Cool. Cool as a cooling tower. Yes, large cooling towers, fans, fans, fans. Yep.
There's some interesting little news that's just come through. If you look in the Studio VC comments,
Oh, give me a sec. Where are you? Where are you?
Wow. And while Stephanie pulls that up, we want to thank Pinwet for his 5 gifted memberships, as well as Turtle Sanctuary for their 5 gifted memberships. Thank you both so much, and congratulations to all the recipients. Welcome to the team.
Oh,
and not
SpaceX reportedly aims to file for IPO as soon as this week. That means they're opening to. What does IPO mean? That means they're going to open up to shares, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going
Correct.
going
public.
public.
Going public.
Public, yeah, yeah. How do we feel about that? Is that a question we probably shouldn't ask, or that's just an opinion thing, isn't it?
So that's a big old rabbit hole, which we could go down.
It's also a yeah hard pass on talking about it.
It's just to clarify, it's not actually going public. So
It's the documentation to say for like the start of the process and their perspective.
no, I meant like they're not going to give over control of anything. It's just a money grab or whatever you want to call that. They're not actually doing public like normal public companies would do.
I thought they were wanting to get listed on a public exchange.
Yeah, but the point is that the controlling is still going to be with Elon. So there's the controlling votes and the controlling authority is still with Elon. So while yes, it's public in the exchange way, it's not public in the you have any control of it as the public way.
It's as public as like Alphabet, where you have your two. I'm sure it's going to be the same, where you have your two share classes, and it'd be next to impossible for the general public to get voting control, which
Right.
also opens up a other long discussion on. Yeah, don't want to go
But
there.
we've opened a rabbit hole.
Well, closing the rabbit hole, the lubricant that we're talking about for the oil was the ISO VG32. So with a compressor motor.
Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that.
That's a
Well,
bit
you know,
specific.
well, I mean, it's on the label, and also it's RPM of 1794. So
And I don't know which, but then there's I have to look at how's a whatchamacallit has those gear trains. Is they're speeding them up for the turbines or is they're slowing them down?
Was that the engines, the motor speed you're saying, or the turbine speed you're saying there, event dudes?
that's on the plate for the motors, for the compressors.
Okay.
And then the other thing was, I don't know what this is. I had to look it up. OE bearing and then NDE bearing, which are the two other for those lubricants they were talking about.
Yeah. I'd say it's geared up dramatically because I'm pretty sure that's not fast enough for a turbine, integral turbine compressing air. I would think more like 17,000 RPM for the actual turbines, although that's a big gear what do you call it? Getting big, more speed gearing.
You
Not
also have
reduction.
to
That was the
remember,
reduction.
you also have to remember these are multi-stage compressors.
True. Okay, so I think we can move on to the port. Just before I do, there's an image here I want to share from Sean of the, I believe that's ship 40.
Yeah. That could very well be covered in scaffolding quite a bit on that windward side at some point. You can see the star right down in the bottom right.
Oh, yes, true, yeah.
There's a further
Mind
away
you,
one too. Sorry, if you wanted to get a fuller photo.
that scaffolding doesn't seem to have actually grown since. Well, yeah, hasn't grown recently.
Scaffolding, yeah. Thanks, Indy. I was sort of going for the close-up, but yeah, thanks. Yep, there's some scaffolding going on. Man, all these changes and advancements with their work stands, and they're still putting silly scaffolding up. Man.
It's a hard bet you won't break SpaceX out of.
I reckon. Yeah,
When
can't
will
give.
the,
Sorry.
when will we get scaffolding in space?
To space? In space.
In space.
What a
Isn't that what
sight that
the
would be to see.
isn't that what the truss on the ISS is?
Scaffolding on the moon for HLS.
Oh, that's going
They'll
to
just
happen.
build scaffolding around it midway.
That's what they'll fill the demo lander with. That'll be the first thing that lands on there.
See if Optimus can assemble scaffolding in space.
Yes.
Oh, come on, no. You know how scaffolding crews are. They'll send them on the first trip, and they'll be just fine out there.
Oh, yeah. Just camping out.
Yep,
The,
like it was nothing. Throwing scaffolding up in all kinds of weird places, down holes, up and everywhere. Yeah, that's scaffolding crew.
Okay, that's funny. Funny. Now, I believe we're going to head over to the ports. So last week, so the sign had all completely disappeared. Stretch right, the sign was all over in Sanchez. Was there anything exciting here, Alex? Did you notice anything in this light? Have you looked through this?
I haven't had time.
The only
Remind me, where did the SpaceX sign go?
they trashed it.
Oh, okay.
It
Tells you
was
everything.
broken on the ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
was
on the
on this
building?
back wall. Sorry, but just go ahead.
It's not on the building. Is that a different sign? The office?
Oh, it could be.
Or is that just a different sign altogether?
I think that's just a different side.
Yeah, that's totally different sign.
They might have used the X, but the rest of it, I think they trashed.
Just go through these photos in order quickly. So that's the terminal. Terminal. I think I worked out last week. This was actually an international terminal.
Yeah, the only other interesting thing was it looks like the clamp arms were all moved out of there for the third stand.
Okay, yeah, because we see them at Sanchez, at least some of them. Oh, there
Is
was
that
some more
where?
actually. On the flyover, there was some
I was
there.
gonna
Oh yeah,
say, yeah, these. Yeah,
So is that in the lot? Is that in this lot? Is that
looks
over
like it
here?
near one of those ramps.
It's over here. There they are there.
Yep.
Ah, tricky. Trickiness. They're trickiness. So there was the ones at Sanchez plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 more here. That's about all of them, I think. Quick look here at
Didn't they
Sanchez.
have a load spare as well? Or was that? Oh, I'm trying to remember now.
yeah. I think we thought there might be some spares, but it ended up being about 30 total that we've seen.
There it is, 20th. There's the 20th one there. Yep, there's 20 between these lot and that lot. There's 20 for this one anyway. We can spot. The extra ones, I'm not sure, Jake. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, these should be stored near the inventory tent, weren't they? Some of the other ones.
Yeah, they were sitting over next to the inventory way back when for the longest time.
In here somewhere, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but of course, since then they've moved everything around over here.
I reckon.
They've been installed or getting installed.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Oh, so you've tracked all of them up. So there's a total of 60 completely now, and they've all been installed or in the process of being installed. Yep.
Yep.
I've never thought to look out the front of this building like ever.
I'd love to see what they got stored inside of that building.
Man, it's been stuff sitting here for like literally years. Yeah, inside, yeah, and these couple of tents. But yeah, it's a big building. Yeah, remember though, for a while ago they upgraded this whole entry thing to get in there.
Yeah, I like the theory that when the flaps are delivered from Hawthorne, they come here first.
I wonder
They
if they
fly them.
get tiled in here even. So, what
Yeah,
about ITAR stuff just being stored? Because like out here, you can't really, you wouldn't be allowed to keep stuff ITAR out in the
What?
open like this, would you?
When are you gonna have the internals of a Raptor sitting here?
You think that's about all that's ITAR at the moment?
That and their software stack, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
ITAR is also one of our magic boogeyman words, like breakovers.
I was gonna say there's often a mix-up between ITAR and proprietary stuff. I've noticed.
Yeah.
They're doing a major upgrade on runway 36. Didn't notice that.
it's gonna be a 757 landing here soon. So
Do you think maybe they need to upgrade for that? Where are we? Touchdowns here. Maybe. When the A380s came out, I know the Melbourne airport had to have a few changes for it.
I don't
Way
know that
back.
it's any bigger. They're just rebuilding it, which that happens fairly regularly at most airports. They have to redo all the surface.
Yeah, yeah. Because this is their landing zone here, touchdown zone. This is what these are for. A lot of runways you have to touch down before these, or you got to go around. If you touch down past these, you haven't got enough runway left to slow down. Your thresholds over here, you tend to try and clear the threshold. Behind there, there's some. Oh, what's it called? There's a bit you can take off. You can go further back behind there. It's called. What's it called? Alaska. It's called something back there. That zone of runway.
I know what
It's
you're
kind.
talking about. It's just not coming to mind immediately.
Yeah, yeah. So you can actually use more of the runway for takeoff than you can for landing.
Displaced threshold.
That's it. Displaced threshold. That's it. Yep. Thanks. Yep. Boy, did that hurt? That hurt me.
I just realised as well, SpaceX's plane is actually there on the right hand side. The biggest one.
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
runway is. I mean, they have two runways there, and they're just rebuilding the one, and so they're primarily using the other one.
Yeah, yeah. They're using this one. Yeah. And it's the different touchdown zones for different like aircraft. The bigger planes have to touch down by there, and other aircraft can use the other touchdown zones here and still be okay to land. And
The airport I
threshold, you're not
work,
allowed to land before the threshold. It's usually once you've made the runway's made, then you can come back to idle. So I cut into someone. Sorry.
I was just going to say the airport I worked at, they had to rebuild. We had three runways, and they had to rebuild each runway about every 10 to 15 years.
Yep. Gee, just goes to show just how long you worked there for, Alaska. Wow.
From off and on from 82 to 2010.
It's like 28 years. Wow. It's a decent career. It's good on you. Quite a thing to stick to a trade for so long. Good on you. Appreciate that. Pretty high stress job, yeah, at times. Geez, oh, sorry, I don't want to go in deep hole, but yeah, there was that little incident through the week. That was a bit awful for that poor controller. You made a bit of a mistake, and yeah, some people got hurt. It must be a terrible day for a controller.
Yes. Stress in that job is all a matter of how you take the job. I really like the job and the like solving the problem. So it wasn't stressful to me the way it is to some people.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's come up in chat. Displace threshold. Thank you. Yep, we finally worked it out. So we got a few aviators in our chat from time to time. I notice. Okay, so have they started actually anything building over here? No. Maybe it is just storage for the cladding pieces after all. The rest of it's just expansion. Have I got a YouTube running somewhere?
And while
Think I
Steph
did.
determines if she has YouTube running somewhere, we want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for another $10 donation. Thank you so much. You request that I say this softly whispered because some people are in bed, so pigs in space.
That was my favorite session of one of my second favorite segment of the Muppet Show. Pigs in space.
Gotta
Behind
do the reverb at the end. Gotta do the reverb at the end.
space. After the chef was my favorite character in the that was my favorite. That one. Sorry, sidetracking again. A nice panorama of the area, including the dirt site, is it? One of the sites. That was that, yeah, the port they're actually updating there, but that's I think that's really important. I'll get a closer up a photo here of that staged steel. Yeah, I think it's just staged steel. It's got the little tab, so maybe it is to do with the cladding. Is there anything to say here that's BZI? Any kind of wording anywhere saying BZI? Oh, sorry for Americans, BZI. Oh, that's the
That's
cladding
it.
though. Yeah, that's the cladding. Yeah, I guess this is BZI are using this for staging.
Wait, so they move it from those white packages into those frames and then transport them in the frames for
Back
cladding?
at Sanchez, they do all that. Over here at
But I mean, if this
Sanchez,
is the cladding, then how do they move it from here to the branches?
This is just cladding raw materials. It goes to Sanchez, gets assembled there, and then gets
Ah,
transported on the vertical trailers over to Gigabyte.
got it.
it's
Thank you, Jake.
transported to here, so they don't have to store it all here. And then from here, they put it onto this machine over here, put a pack in here, and then this machine picks it up and chucks it down on there. And I don't know whether they're using tech screws or it's some kind of clip-on process. They could use that. I remember using steel roofing. There's a clip lock system. You put down little brackets first on the um on the battens, and then you can just sort of literally kick them down with your foot. Basically, snap them into place. There's no screws involved. I can't see any clip system on here necessarily, but I mean they're not got one. Or they just stick them down. Don't they just stick them down too sometimes with adhesives these days?
It could be a blind screw with an overlap, just kind of like a standing seam roof type of deal, only vertical.
Yep. I passed one in UK. Yeah, that happens. We understand that with UK. We can't do much about that. Good time of day for me. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here right now for me. Start at 10 in the morning for me. The live stream's a bit early. It's 3 o'clock in the morning for me now. Live streams, and the flyovers are like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And when America and Australia both have daylight savings time through my summer, I get to do live streams at 5 o'clock in the morning, but through my winter, the live streams are 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I always said I like daylight savings, but that's one thing I just don't like about daylight savings, but that's just a recent thing. When I was a tradie, I liked the daylight savings thing. Oh, there's the airport. So we're looking over here at the ASU's over here somewhere, the Brownsville ASU. I think it's very early Wednesday morning for you now too. But yeah, it is. It is Wednesday the 25th of March at only 12:30. Sorry, 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Way over there, is it? That's Highway 14 or 41 or something. That one. Does it actually go to? No, it doesn't go to the island. You got to turn up it, don't you? To go to the island over there somewhere. Oh, that's not 41 or 14. It's this one here that goes to the island. 48. That'll do. That's a railway bridge. Cool. Good old Brownsville, huh? The big metropolis of Brownsville. Yeah, it's noon, midday, yep. Lunchtime. Lunchtime Wednesday here, yep. We're like, I don't know, I can't remember now. It's like 16 or 14 or 18 or something else ahead because we're right over on that side of the time thing, and you guys are right over America, right over the other side of it. We're actually not that far apart across the other way, if that makes sense. New Zealand's even further apart away from America. Or even slightly more ahead in the future.
Don't I know?
Yeah. Yeah. Your little giggle there sometimes like one of those cartoons off those races. That's with Penelope in that. One of those
Wacky
uh,
races.
yeah, the wacky races. Yeah, you have that kind of snigger. It's funny. That's cool. That's cool. I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way, at all. So this week, I think we've got to see the steering pins for the rudder. What do you call it? Rudder posts for the rudder on this ship this week. Really getting this thing disassembled. It seems to be going quicker these days.
Brian Aries has a
This
question.
sure.
He's wondering, when can SpaceX start on their port project?
And all the paperwork gets put through. It'll be a while. I think Mentees and Alex were both saying it'll be a while.
It has to go through the NEPA process. We just saw that occur for the expansion, which was pretty fast at 6 months. So they have to, well, they first have to negotiate the process with the port, which they're currently doing. So let's say that happens in April. So 6 months from April? Question mark. Before they break ground, by the way, just so we're clear.
And for the expansion, though, that's been working off of the original EIS that was from 2012. So for the port expansion, they'd have to, it's fresh from the ground up. So it could be closer to 18 months.
Right, exactly. And they had an initiative lately, I forget what it was called. They're trying to speed things up. And I'm hoping they'll probably, well, not hoping, they're probably going to cheat the system a little bit because they've also had Rio Grande do its, which is just across the way there. And they had an older, I forget the name of it, LNG that was supposed to be right next to it. So maybe, question mark.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely qualifies, I believe, as one of the speed up executive orders. Same with the what Reliant oil terminals are building.
Yeah, I could see both going pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it'll be next year at this time. It'll be well under construction, but we'll know.
Hey, Steph,
DMH,
what are those yellow things around the? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, DMHMT's asking, speaking of fans, were those blue ones you just showed us for the LNG plant?
Yeah, we think so. Yeah, for the liquefaction plant. Yeah,
And then one more,
they're
Todd, and then it's
massive.
all you. We want to thank Wilbo Baggins for his £5 donation. And he says it's really late in the UK, but he thanks RGV Aerial Photography. Go ahead, Todd.
Actually, she kind of answered for me. It looks like they're big chains, the yellow around the steering post there
Oh
in the
yeah,
back.
yeah. They may
Just
even
close
be.
in, zoom in.
I'm not sure they're anchors. They look like anchor chains. Do they have rear anchors? They would. Do they have rear anchors?
That
I don't
looks
know.
like
It looks like it.
that looks like the next section they're prepping to lift out to me.
Ah, it's actually lifting chains. Okay. Yeah, you could be right there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they're lifting chains. Yep. And look, they're sitting. They've got them pinned with these posts here to stop them dropping. These poles here. Look.
Are
Stopped
they
them
just
falling through.
lifting the whole rudder assembly up and out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like it.
man.
It's either a big rudder, far out. I suppose a big
Yeah.
ship to
It,
turn.
it's amazing that they're right there. That's like that. This hasn't not taken them that long. They're about. That's like crazy to me.
Looks like they've got both sides prepped to remove. Yep, very good. They've got the ship tied down with ropes, but they've also got a chain over here hanging on it too. Looks like they've just literally grabbed on it with a bit of chain around a loop and a shackle. Yeah, chained it down as well. The anchor chains usually have that bar in the middle. It's I don't know whether just all chains do or it's anchor chains or just large chains because these aren't anchor chains. These are actually part of a lifting rig or wherever that went over here. Oh, where did that go? Oh, down here. But it's just the thing that all large, once you get to a certain size, they do that on all chains. Not sure. But yeah, she's slowly getting, bit by bit, she's becoming less and less of a ship. Right, oh, there's still, the port connector road, there's still a tank and three little, the old water deluge tanks. Still a lot of aluminium sitting over here. That's right, aluminium. Deal with it. The cement plants, it doesn't seem, I don't know, it doesn't, I guess it is being used. It never seems to be used quite as much as it used to be. Oh, that's a nice photo. It's a really, really nice photo, actually. Nice colours, nice brightness, not a nice amount of light balance. And there's the causeway. It's a big causeway. So the site, here's the site over here. I keep thinking it's this bit here, but it's actually this bit over here. And to connect the road, they'll have to do something about that as well, amongst all their paperwork and their construction. Nice overview of the LNG plant. Let's quickly, before I go to the LNG plant, so where have I got my bearings here? Oh, it's further over, okay. So there is, this is to do with the dredging work though, isn't it? This is not to do with SpaceX yet. I wonder with the dredging, do they fill in like that area, or is that somewhere where they're using to settle the silt, I guess, to let water back out?
Yeah,
Settling pond?
they just have the outlet of the dredges, and they just slowly drag it around and creates a level.
Eventually that'll be like usable land or at least land above sea level.
I mean, they're raising it above what its previous grade was.
Yeah, that's true too, yeah.
Somewhere in that general area is where that mill is supposed to be going, that Maria was talking about when we were down there.
What mill?
Some kind of a food mill, so grain mill
Oh,
in
cool,
that
cool.
general area. Because she was talking to somebody about using boats to go from Long Island to their work instead of driving all the way around.
I'm up the rip. Oh, sorry. Go again.
I don't think anybody said anything other than we were talking about using. Alaska was talking about how Maria was suggesting that people use boats to get to the mill.
Yeah, it could be that area that your hand is on right now or the further down. I was never sure quite where. I think it's this area actually, because that road goes by it. Uh, the same road that SpaceX will end up using.
So this would be a previous dredging spot, would it, Alex?
Yeah, and it looks like they're still actively using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's seemingly nearly continuous dredging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on since I first went down there, whenever it was 5 years ago.
We'll do these sites as well. Then I think we'll finish with the LNG site. Let's see. There's probably here we go. The fuel site. Oh, that definitely looks like there's going to be a stage 2. Yeah, something over that side. Oh, we're going to have little gardens here as well, are we? Okay, parking along here. Yeah. Parking along here, perhaps. Like they're going to, yeah, like they did on what's it called? LGB. What's his name? Lyndon Johnson, LBJ Avenue. Careful how I say that. Actually, can't call the past president LGB, can I? LGBT. Can't say that. Bit rough. Lyndon Johnson, yeah, first president to visit Australia. First president in office to visit Australia. Sorry. Charge spots, push bikes.
Trash.
Okay.
Dumpster location,
Dumpsters.
dumpster truck,
Yeah.
dumpsters.
Yep. All right, chip. Oh, that's looking much cleaner now. This looks like that's all pretty well finished. That area. I was looking for the construction, but it's finished. Another little play area in here, maybe. I guess they'll have some kind of, sports field. I guess they'd have here somewhere eventually. Maybe out here even. Most schools, even in America, they have a sports field, don't they? Like an open field somewhere they can play footy or whatever, baseball or whatever. Australia, it's cricket and footy, obviously. Up to Rio West, sorry. Rio West. Look like there's anything going on in New Half. My voice is getting a bit creaky already. There's still no water in the pool. Oh, sorry.
I don't think anybody said anything.
Cool. This building looks like it may be being used. No, it's still being fitted out, I guess, yeah. Be long. Oh, the poor pine trees are looking a bit sad today. Blown over. Blown away by all the advancement here at Starbase, Texas. Oh, what? Why aren't they on the roof? Are they just staged, or do you think that's where they'll stay? No, they'll
Does
go on
it
the roof, won't
stay?
they?
No, that's
What's going on with the side of that building? Is that just a
Hmm.
protective layer peeling off?
Mm-hmm. Not looking real good, is it? That's interesting. Yeah, I like this entrance. That's a nice entrance here. This side entrance. I would have thought they'd be like a beer garden. Oh, that doesn't have glass. Yeah, you might be right, Alex, because there's only one door. It's not. There's no real like glass out here to look out of.
You would have thought that'd be a nice little like observation deck for the looking down onto the field below there.
Tennis court,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like an outside beer garden. You used to have outside beer. Is that a word you use in America? Beer garden for outside sort of drinking area?
Not for schools.
or
No, this isn't a
sports
school.
or a gym. I don't see.
This is it's a recreational facility. It's not a drinking facility. The
But
thing
maybe
about
for eating. Yeah, true.
That's
I get it.
across the
Yeah.
street.
Right?
Yeah.
That's for when you're done exercising.
Okay, let's say here's a beer garden then. We'll call that a beer garden.
help you burn off your carbs.
So get your carbs there. Oh, sorry. So get your carbs there and come over here and burn them off. Yeah.
I think the other way around if you're drinking.
I was gonna say
You're
that's how we used
gonna get
that's how I
sick.
used to do Taekwondo training. Do the Taekwondo training and then training and then go over there. Yeah. That was a long time ago. recommend Taekwondo to anybody, especially younger people, teenagers and upwards. Taekwondo is in my personal life. Taekwondo was a real big turnaround. It helped me a lot with my confidence and helped me with, and it's non-contact. It's just a really nice sport and helps you be very confident. Okay, moving over to this site, we're still at those three things there. We're still missing a bit of SpaceX crane. Not much to report on there, I don't think.
That says, Steph, your Aussie is showing.
The falling off barefoot's not like getting kicked in the head. I promise. Although some days, I tell you, you do hit the water hard some days, I must say. Barefoot water skiing's easy. It's a little bit physically hard, that's all. It's like sprinting. It's like the same sort of physical effort as if you're running, like running along the road, running along the track. What was I seeing there? What's this? The back of? Oh, is that Oh,
The
that's the
school.
school. Yeah. Oh, there's the border patrol. The border, whatever they call themselves. That's a different company to ICE, isn't it? That's a different department, isn't it? To actual ICE, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I might have asked that question before, actually. Sorry. Is that a launching ramp for them or for the public or for them?
It's probably for their boats that they cruise up and down the river in.
Didn't they used to have one of them at the end of oh, where was that lane now? That end of where
That's a public one. I think it's state of Texas, but I think it's public for boats, for fishing boats and stuff to launch from. Right by the end of the housing
yeah,
on
yeah, there.
on Tarpon Loop.
Yeah, that yeah. Showed a picture of it, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Thanks.
But the state has used that for other thing for that type of thing as well. Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. But now they looks like they got their own fancy dedicated one all for themselves. Well, was that maybe there? That might have even been there. No, it was been there before or not. I wonder if that was just put in now since they built this building. Is that whole ramp area is actually new? I'd have to look back at some other older photos.
Thought the ramp was first, then the building came, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that came after they closed the one at Massey's.
That's right. They used to launch boats from Massey's too.
Oh, in that corner up where the water filtration used to be.
Yep.
Back in here, wasn't it? Somewhere.
Yeah, a little further up, but yes, right in that area.
Yeah. That was before SpaceX owned it and they used this area for water. Is that right? Before, even before once SpaceX used it, they stopped using here? That
The
doesn't make
water
any
was
money.
a SpaceX thing, but the ramp was there, I think, already.
Yeah, I understand, yeah. That's a nice view from the other side. Ah, see, Alex. That's a okay, wow. So I'll just show it as they come up because otherwise I'll forget to show it. This is like that multi-stage. Oh, there is that the what do you call what's the opposite of reduction drive to make it go faster? So big wheel to little wheel, gearing it up. Oh, that's a big gear up ratio. That's about what I said. It's about 10 to 1, if not more there. Wow. For that stage, and this one here is a slightly different gear ratio. Well, that'd take a they'd have to wind up. They'd like, well, that'd take a minute to wind up.
Well, effectively, you've got three separate volumes and in that one pump, right? At least three, possibly four.
I think someone said it's a 5, maybe it was 4. So, yeah, but it's definitely because there's one up here, and there's one here, and there's one here, and it looks like there's another one down there at least. There might be one opposite that one as well. Oh, hang on, there's 2 here, and maybe 2 there. Might be in 6 stage actually, or 6 segment, 6 stage, whatever. Yeah, however you want to say it. Sure, the bigger ones are the first stages, and the smaller ones are the later stages, perhaps. That's an awesome image. It looks like exactly the right model and everything for what's at Starbase. Oh, we've lost Alex. Has dropped out. The water's brown. Yeah, it's green. Yeah, it's green. Yeah, sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's green. Yeah, well, it's near Brownsville, so I know the end of big rivers, they tend to get quite dirty. We're lucky where I live. We're like right up close to the mountains, and the water down here where I swim is you can see the rocks through the water, and everything's beautiful, clean water. You can drink it. It's straight out of the river. You can drink it. I wouldn't drink that water, that's for sure. Probably even salty, this water. Okay, so let's go. Let's finish up at the this big place here. We'll quickly go through here. We're pretty well done our time. Been another good show. Appreciate everyone's questions. There's been a good turnout in chat there, so really appreciate you all there and enjoying yourselves. Was there another donation there or two, Andy? Well, before we move on.
Yep, we got a couple. We got another $10 from Turtle Sanctuary. Thank you, Turtle Sanctuary. And they said that Mana Mana is their favorite Muppet reference. And good night. And then Nodi says Starbase expanded in hot cross buns. Best lunch in a while. Thanks, RGV. And she donated $5 Australian. Thank you both so much. And one correction, I said Aussie. It's Aussie. Sorry, Desi. Des.
Aussie, yeah, with a Z, yeah. Oh, the Yarra, yeah, the Yarra's, ooh, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, I
ordinary,
didn't
yeah.
get my Aussie on right. Sorry about that.
That's quite a common American pronunciation, Aussie, yeah, Aussie with
It's
a
the
Z.
AU. That's why AUSSIE instead of OZZIE.
We still spell it AUSSIE.
I
It's
know.
pronounced Aussie.
But in the US, we say Aussie when we say AUSSIE. Anyways, neither here nor there.
Well, the word's from Australia, so the S is in the word Australia. I'm not actually sure where the Z comes from in amongst all the Aussie bit. That's just the way we do things in Australia with words. We change things around a bit. I said things then. I do so well to contain my swearing, I promise. Okay, I guess this is just sort of advancing as much as we sort of expected. These tanks are still being they're starting concreting over here. Something new this week. We've got a visitor. Well, you'd be happy to know there's no horses in the house this week. I do have the horses in the house yard again this week, but they haven't managed to find their way into the house this week. So that's always a bonus. Doesn't everyone have the odd occasion where they got to worry about a horse coming into their house? I'm sure it happens more than just to me.
Yes, that's a totally normal thing that happens to absolutely everyone.
So just going back to these fans, someone asked earlier. Let's have a quick look here. Seem to be a different color. Maybe they've just got plastic on them. Oh, they're just blue covers, yeah. So when they put them into when they actually put them in over here, they take the covers off. Yeah. Oh, there's one with the cover actually still on it. There you go. There's the water in and the water out. I guess they have a massive water tank somewhere too to maybe even like one of these tanks to you need some kind of a reservoir somewhere in these sort of systems. As closed as the system is, there's still sort of um, there's always water disappearing somewhere. There's some more of them down here as well. Oh, there's some big equipment here. It really makes Starbase look like a really small installation. I think this is one of those things Alex was talking about that at the ASU unit looks like over here. They look like this here at the ASU. But a similar kind of thing, a similar type process happens.
At Dorpson?
Yeah, that word.
Milton Miller has a question. They're wondering, do they use the tower cranes with concrete buckets or do they bring in a pump for the roof? Or do we know?
Ah, uh, we have seen a concrete pump. In fact, I think there's one even there.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll use a pumper. It's not that high. I mean, it's high, but it's not out of their reach.
And they could always do just like they did on the tower, run a pipe up the tower and pump it from the bottom rather than have
Yeah.
a rig like that. But this isn't tall enough to need that.
There's two pumpers right here just to answer your question. There you go. It's being poured as we speak. Oh, there's a heavy duty concrete truck. Look at that. It's got what?
Oh
It's got
wow.
quad axles, triaxle front and a single axle back. What?
Where's the carb on it?
This is used just on site.
Diffuse.
That's backwards, actually. This is the front. Cabin's here, I think, Jake.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was. What was going on there?
Yeah, it is. It's a backwards one. So that's the steer, and that's the triaxle drive. Bogey drive, single wheel steer. That looks like a single steer at the back too. It's maybe even lifted. Yeah, I think I have seen them. They're a backwards cement truck. Yeah.
That's the
Which
first
is
time I've ever seen one of those.
So they're not uncommon in the U.S.
yeah, they do look weird, don't they?
That's a big one. They're not usually, there's smaller versions I've seen.
Yeah, you tend to see those when they have short runs to the plant back, not long distance runs, where they're going to be on the highway or something like on a freeway or something like that. The runs aren't as long.
Yeah, there's a batch plant here. They're doing the concrete that comes from here on site. Guys got one job. Keep those things full.
Steph, go up and to the left. There's another one up there. I want to look at that one.
There's about 4 of them.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Actually,
So
go
look,
back to the plant and then go up to the left. There was one. It looked like it might be coming in. I'm wondering if we're wrong on the front. Go up, up, up. Yep, right there.
oh, that's a different one again. No, that's the cabin that end.
Okay, yeah, they load in the back and then it comes into the. Okay. Yep, you're right.
They load in the front.
There's not a
That's the
hopper in the back.
that's the engine. That's the hopper, and then the
Oh,
engine's in the rear.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rear
they're all
engine.
back there.
That one's also smaller because it's only got 3 axles in the back.
I think there's a lazy axle or two on these too. I
That's
think.
that's where all your weight is underneath the main portion of that drum. That's why the
Yeah, under
axles.
here. Yeah. These are lazy axles. I think these two are lazy. Oh, that's a steer axle, but I think these are lazy axles. That one's even lifted when they're empty. They lift that lazy axle. The cabin, steer, yeah, engine, yeah, and the drive. Oh, the drive for the. Yeah, they always load the hopper where the concrete comes out. It's where the concrete goes in. Same spot. But yeah, well spotted that there's more of them there. Yep. Well done.
There's just a couple cars there.
All right. Well, unless there's any other questions, I'm pretty well done with the show today. Are we? Is there anything particularly anyone else wants to look at or talk about or anything? We've just had enough of me babbling on for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, there's
I'd
no
say you've
questions in
covered
chat.
everything pretty well.
I posted
More
the
takes.
mill that we're talking about. There's nothing there, but it's way up there by the blue covered fans.
Over here.
Yep. It's the L shape right above there. Sorry. Yeah, that yeah. But it's right next. What I was talking about, it's right next to the fans that you were looking at for the LNG plant.
Okay, yeah. I think we've pretty well covered everything. Thanks, Martin. But yeah, I know I let we let other people have a go every now and again. I said I'm fortunate I get to do this, but so it's up in
Right below.
this in here.
Yep. It's a whole lot of nothing.
There you go. Let's go in there. So you're pronouncing your name not Noti or Noti? Noti, is that right? Thank you for your kind words. And yeah, no worries. Appreciate it. So next flyover is scheduled for Saturday at 2:46 p.m. Central Time. Yep. Quad axles, two of them are drives, yeah, bogie drive, and two are steerable tag axles. Yeah, looks like one of them can be lifted as well. Yeah, I call them what you're calling tag axle. I'm calling a lazy axle. Yeah, you see it on some coaches or big buses. You see there's a at the back there's a drive axle with a differential and everything. And then behind that they have a well, I call it a lazy axle. You're calling it a tag axle. Yep, that's how you say it. Thanks, Natty. All right then, Indy, we might. I'll thank you very much for jumping in today, and we did well, and appreciate that Matt's okay. That's all we're worried about. We weren't worried about Matt being late. We're just worried about he was okay. So that was good that Matt's actually okay. So thanks, Indy, for jumping in like that. You're a marvel, being able to do that so quick. Thank you. Which is, I know it's easy peasy for you.
My pleasure. Anytime. Also glad Matt's okay, and so's the family.
Yeah, that was
And
the main thing. Yeah.
I hope to see you all on Tuesday. I'm sorry, Saturday for the flyover.
Absolutely. And are you there, Matt? I can let you do the sign off if you want.
Or not. We can just say, you can say it for him, Steph. Go for it. And also thanks to Jake
Like,
and Lawrence and PK and Alaska and everybody who participated in the chat as well as vocally in Discord.
My pleasure.
yeah, thanks, Jake. So yeah, thanks, Indy. Yeah. So yeah, it's great when people and Event Dude does so much work in the background for us. Yeah, it's good when other people jump in and have a yak with us as well. Something like that's all for this week. Something in chopstick grease.